Yes, everybody, welcome back to Talking Wolves. Welcome back to a new update video on the channel. Hope you guys are keeping well. We're here for yet again another update. Much love for all the support shown on the last couple of videos. It's been a really good start to the summer in terms of you guys supporting the channel, so I do appreciate that. Let's try and hit 300 likes once again on today's video and subscribe to the channel as we edge closer to 20,000 subscribers. But some really interesting news that has broken over the last couple of days, so we'll jump into that now, and we will of course talk about Fer Lopez, Fernando Lopez, who Wolves, of course, the last time I spoke about it, had agreed terms with the player, and now it's been heavily reported once again that Wolves have agreed terms with Celta Vigo for the signing of the 21-year-old attacking midfielder. Now, at the time, I was unsure on the fee. I'd sort of added a little bit into the video about the release clause that was sort of reported as I'd uploaded the video. But it is thought that it's going to come in at around 23 million euros in total. It's thought with how the contract was that up until the start of July, the release clause for Lopez was just 20 million euros. But Wolves have obviously got it up a little bit to 23 million euros to pay in installments, so it will help the club out long term as well. And what I did mention as well in the last video was that he'd spent some time in England, but there wasn't really much backstory about that online. However, Adam Bate over at Sky Sports has done a fantastic article today. If I remember, I'll make sure I leave a link to that in the description of the video if you want to go and check that out as well. And it shows so much detail about Fer Lopez and his time in England at just 14 years of age, going across to Suffolk to spend some time there. And apparently the quality that he showed at that age, training in men's football as well, was phenomenal, really. So it's a really good article to check out. I'll put some statistics on the screen as well. Obviously, still such a small sample size in terms of first team minutes that he's been getting. As we know, still quite an inexperienced player. But the one stat I like there a lot is the through ball successful out of any player in La Liga last season. The highest in terms of most successful through balls per 90, which is a really, really positive stat to have. And in terms of his quality on the ball, as you'll read if you go and read that article, it does sound extremely exciting. As always, Celta Vigo fans getting really frustrated about it yesterday, as you would expect. But it sounds like when you talk to people that have watched this young man play and people in and around Spanish football, it sounds like Wolves have got a pretty decent signing here. Just time will tell whether, obviously, 23 million euros, under 20 million pounds is going to be worth it. Because, of course, and I think it's fair to, there are still a certain portion of the Wolves fan base throwing question marks at this. Is this a favour for Jorge Mendes? You know, are we lining his pockets? Maybe. But I certainly do think Wolves hopefully have got a young man on their hands that can produce some big moments in big matches for the club and go on to be a very successful player at Molineux as well. We had some interesting news as well in regards to Guessand, a player that I mentioned probably a week or two ago on the channel, currently playing for Nice as a forward. And again, another player with extremely promising numbers in the top division of France last season. Now, it's a strange situation, this is, because at the time it was Sky Sports that reported it, and Wolves apparently were aware of the amount of clubs that were interested in him, and Wolves really wanted to press forward with the signing. But since then, we've heard nothing, to be completely honest. It's been very, very quiet in regards to the signing of him. Then we saw a leaked transfer list and a squad depth chart, let's say, of Vitor Pereira's that made its way onto a Turkish social media page over the weekend. A social media page that is known for winding fans up. So I had so many messages about it. I said, look, I'm 99% sure that this is fake. And then a lot of Turkish sources have jumped on certain names in that list and said, oh, Wolves are interested in him. According to Vitor Pereira's transfer list, Wolves want this player. So I am a little bit dubious about this link, to be honest, because there were a few Turkish journalists jumping on the Guessand report. I think Fenerbahce had been linked with him as well, so that helped add fuel to the fire, so it may well be agent talk as well. And I've said on this channel many times before, respectfully, the quality and the reliability of a lot of sources in Turkey is so poor. But this one has come from a different source, so it's Africa Foot. very hot on African news and so on, who have said that Wolves have submitted their first offer for Evan Guessand. So still, I'm not 100% convinced, because are Africa Foot jumping on the back of these other reports and rumours that we've seen? Maybe. So I'd still do feel like we need to take this one with a pinch of salt, but it would be another fantastic move in the right direction for Wolves if they were to get this deal done. It's said that Nice want in and around a package of probably around 30 million euros to get this deal done. At this stage, we don't know what Wolves' original or initial offer has been so far, but hopefully Wolves are getting the wheels in motion for this one, and maybe we're going to see, as soon as the players are rocking up to training, a couple of new players ready to be at Compton Park on day one of pre-season. I think Fer Lopez will be done this side of July. Anything else probably will creep into the early part of next month. But really, it's positive signs all of a sudden that Wolves are moving things in the right direction as well. And then we have finally, just a short while ago, seen the official announcement of Domenico Teti coming in to the club as what we thought was going to be the technical director. It pretty much is, but Wolves have put a fancy term on it as well. But they've sort of outlined the skeleton of their structure and their leadership group now, which was sort of hinted at over the last week or so since Matt Hobbs' departure from the club. But Domenico Teti, a man who has come into the club with what Wolves describe as a wealth of experience across Europe and the Middle East. I'll put up a graphic on the screen now in regards to the new structure. So we've got Domenico Teti, who they are saying is the new director of professional football. Matt Jackson, who we knew was going to take more of a role in the negotiation side, is now the director of player recruitment and development. He's going to be working a little bit more in regards to, well, closer to Tete, but working with the academy and Wolves women a lot more as well. Phil Hayward, who has been at the club on a couple of spells, but a long time, is now going to be the newly appointed director of performance. Matt Wild, who's pretty much the secretary at Wolves, will now be the, he's just going to continue his established role as director of football operations and administration. And Max Fitzgerald, again, who's held a very similar role for a long time, will now be the PR and communications director, a role which he's pretty much held for a long time at the club as well. But yeah, Jeff Shee had a few comments on it. He'll continue his role, obviously, at the top of that tree. He's got a lot of wrongs to make right, in my opinion, Jeff Shee. A lot of things that he did wrong just over a year ago. He sort of saved himself with the Vitor Pereira saga, albeit, we don't know how much say he had in that. But it was a big gamble, in my opinion, to move Matt Hobbs on. And this now, Domenico Teti, obviously a friend, or at least a very good, a trusty colleague of Vitor Pereira, coming in and getting quite a big role at the football club. But fingers crossed, things do start to go in the right direction. It looks like it's going to be, with Fer Lopez going to be more than likely the first signing through the door for Wolves, and maybe Evan Guessand as another name to follow very soon as well. Although, like I've said, still not 100% convinced by those rumours at the moment, but we'll wait and see. As always, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hit the like button as well. Subscribe to the channel. I'm sure I'll catch you guys very, very soon.